you just said, and I think you're right, maybe they tried. It had no impact on the election. The scandal is this, that high-ranking Democrats abuse their intelligence positions to try to convince half the American people and one entire political party that Russia stole the 2016 election. And they succeeded. Today it is an article of faith among Democrats.
How did they?
I
think, Scott, you have to actually back that up. How did they do that, in your opinion?
By doing this. Like I said, they act like they have no idea. Like just exactly how. Let me show you. Since you're on news and you have a channel and you have a show on CNN, but obviously you have a reading comprehension problem. How exactly did they do that? This was last night. And you have a host of a of a show on a network who completely doesn't even want anyone to see this. Tell me exactly how they did that. And that's why he's got that look on his face, like, huh? Have you not been paying attention? Are your weaves too tight in your head? Well, maybe you want to go back to the salon and have them loosen that stuff up. You paid too much for that horsehair because it's pulling your brain apart. Well, how do we know that? Have you not been paying attention? Your one job is to pay attention to news.
I mean, you're alleging that there was a conspiracy led by Obama to say that.
Look at Scott's face. He's probably thinking to himself, what in the hell is wrong with these people? How are you so stupid? Do none of the people who watch this channel have any idea what has happened in the last couple of days? You're alleging that. No, I'm not. I have the documents, you idiot. This is perfect proof. Don't read anything, just listen to me.
Russia changed the votes, which they did not say. So what are you talking about exactly?
I'm telling you that the program was this. They were shocked that Donald Trump won the election. They couldn't believe it. No. And so these people, I don't know who is responsible for it ultimately, but it deserves investigation.
Wait a minute, just a minute ago, you were saying the Wall Street Journal.
Why don't you let me finish?
By the way, that smiling Jack dude sitting next to the guy in the black suit, if you didn't know before, now you know. That's Jeff Flake, I think it's Jeff Flake is his name. He was a Republican who hated Trump and got run out of Senate or the Congress. I think it was Senator. And then he came down to Florida and tried to be the president of the University of Florida. They ran him out of here too. He hates Trump. He hates everything about Trump. And now he's just a smiling Jack on CNN. But now you get to hear this black guy just, oh my God, are you saying something bad about Obama? No. Oh my God.
These people wanted the American people to believe that it was an illegitimate president. That was the point.
The Obama deep state, multiple officials. Yes.
So what about the?
I sat here night after night on panel after panel.
Let's all calm down.
Let's all calm down, she says. Your show has degenerated into a sophomoric pablum fest. Nobody there wants to talk about the actual truth, or, as I keep showing my prop here, the actual documents. And so you're all just pretending like you know better than the paper that we just saw. Notice, she's there. She could have had it printed out and probably sure there's a producer somewhere. Can you go print out Tulsi's documents? Can we see Tulsi's documents?
Down now. Okay, listen. Is Marco Rubio in the Obama deep state?
No, but this is
Marco Rubio in the Obama deep state?
No, but you are.
How is that? Okay, let's just bring it back to the facts here. Is Marco Rubio in the Obama deep state?
Did he author the Steele dossier?
Okay. Senator, Ambassador, let me go to you on this because there was.
All right. So this is the argument that they've been making that Tulsi pretty much shut down yesterday. That argument is, hey, Marco Rubio was part of this committee and he signed off on everything as, there's no problem here. And the answer to her question isn't, was Marco Rubio on that committee? The question is, what information was Marco Rubio relying on? You see, all the stuff the Democrats do right now, even if you want to go all the way back to our founding fathers, they never imagined this type of criminal activity. There's no way anybody could foresee that there would be a party who would do this kind of stuff. And so when they say, and you should know this, when they say, wasn't Marco Rubio involved in this? Yeah, but he was only relying on the information that he was given. So there's your easy answer. Yeah, Marco read the report, just like everybody else read the report, and went, okay, this is the information I have. He didn't have what Comey and Brennan and Clapper were cooking up. So there's your answer. It's a very simple one. He didn't have the report. But now this is why they brought in smiling Jeff Flake. I guess his name is Blake. I call him Flaky. Because he's going to pretend like, oh yeah, Marco knew.
There was a bipartisan committee that looked into this. That bipartisan committee was led in part by Marco Rubio. Mm-hmm. And they concluded what? What did they conclude? Was it that Russia interfered in the election or that Russia did not?
Well, Russia interfered. They always do.
Okay. So is Marco Rubio...
It didn't change a vote.
It didn't, but what do people believe? What do people believe?
So hold on a second. So is this about...
She won't accept it. See, now she thinks she's got her hook. She's got her flunky, flaky... That's, hey, yeah, Marco was there. But she's not looking again at the documents. And that's why Scott gets so frustrated, because they get up there and they pontificate, and their entire existence is to lie to everybody that's watching their show, to make Scott look like, Scott, you're kind of, your elevator doesn't go all the way to the top, bro. But when in essence, his does, and theirs does too. See, let's not pretend. I think she's Harvard educated. She's not stupid. But she's, like I said with the Geddy Lee and Rush song, she's an actor. She's playing a role on each other's audience. This is what we're seeing in news. These people aren't stupid. They're highly educated. They got into this and made money and realized, I can make money just being a stooge. And I don't have any, personal awareness. I can just be a stooge all I want, and they're going to pay me a whole lot of money. Anna Navarro knows that. And so they take the payment, they play the role, they act, and at the same time, there's so many people on the left who look at this crap and go, oh yeah, see? Yeah, Marcos was there, Marco didn't have, and it becomes a talking point. When he could easily just say Marco was acting on the information he had at that point, because he didn't realize these people were complete scumbags. That's the answer.
About what the intelligence community concluded, or is it about what you think the public believes? Are those two things the same, or are they different?
Abby, why would they believe it if they weren't told that by their government? They were told that by the White House.
If you are accusing people of crimes, okay,
I don't know if it's criminal, but it deserves investigation.
You might want to have your facts in order, because
the facts are this.
Scott got too wrapped up in this because he should have came to the set with the whole thing printed out. My facts? You mean these? Her condescending way, her evil way of being so you might want to come in with your facts. See, Trump, that would have never worked with Trump, because you saw him today with Jerome Powell. Hey man, this thing's so over budget. It's like $3 billion over budget. What? It's not $3 billion over budget. You sure? Hey, Tim, you got it? Tim's like, yeah, it's $3 billion over budget. I don't know anything about that. Of course you don't. And that's what you have to do with these people. You need to confront them. Talking to them is not going to work. They will try to shout you down, whether it's personal or even family. They're like, yeah, hold on a second. You see this? Shout at this. And it leaves them nowhere to go. Then they just run away and just go to the store or whatever, go home. If you're going to fight fire, you better come armed with a big-ass hose. Because these people are armed for bear with lies and deception. They use these things. These are the arrows in their quiver. And if you don't have your documentation to show them, they're going to eat you alive.
Hold on a second.
Scott,
That's what they told
You
me.
cannot criminalize. You cannot target people
I didn't
with the
criminalize
law
anything. I think it deserves investigation.
by saying that they authored an
I have no
assessment that
authority
says
to target
in
anybody.
plain
And
text
you just
what
said
Russia.
something.
Hold on a second. It says in plain text what Russia did in the election, and then you want to punish them for what people believe?
Yes, I want to punish them and investigate them.
That is absolutely
for
wrong.
leading the
All right,
United States down this
go ahead,
ridiculous
Keith.
black hole.
I cannot believe she's a host. She looks like somebody I knew in college and has stayed that look her entire life. She looks like a sophomore in college. And has no idea. Well, she obviously has an idea, but she's so good at what she does. She's very good. See, that's one of the problems that people have when they don't watch these news channels. You need to watch these news channels, just like Trump said, so you can see what the enemy is doing. And you can see she's so good, she's so persuasive, she's out there with her horsehair, and she's got all the makeup on, and she's got 5 other people on the panel who are willing to attack the conservative, and none of it is factual. None of it. And nobody at home who watches this stuff understands what the problem is. And I pointed out what the problem was earlier. And I'm telling you this because you're going to get this kind of argument. You're going to get from people because now they've been told, well, Marco Rubio and a bipartisan panel signed off on it. They think that's the gotcha. When in essence, what the gotcha really is for you to say, well, he was going on the report that was given to him. He wasn't given what was really going on. And then you'll watch people turn into like The Exorcist because they don't have any answers for that. Well, how do you know? Well, I know because I have this. Have you seen this? Nobody has refuted. The whole time, one of the reasons why I hit this segment is I'm waiting for somebody to say the documents that Tulsi came out with are fake. Nobody. You will find that. You're going to go tonight and go flip on channels. Nobody's saying it's fake. And so it's a lot of yelling and blah, 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 and insulting. You're stupid. Yeah, he's stupid. But nobody's talking about the facts of the matter. You have to ask yourself why when you watch these people.
One in response to Scott and one about the whole conversation. First of all, in the last segment, Scott was complaining because the Wall Street Journal was reporting factually based sourced argument, sourced information.
Unverified hearsay was the term.
Factually based sourced information.
Unverified hearsay.
And now he comes on making wild accusations
They're not wild.
with no factual basis. So there's a hypocrisy there.
Wait.
I know it's sufferable. You guys are like, I can't watch it. Please watch it. Because you have to see what the scheme is. And I feel for Scott, because you walk in there knowing you're going into the belly of the beast, and then you got no facts. And I was just hoping that somebody would come out, one of the producers would tap Scott on the shoulder and slide him the note and go, here. Here's the 100 pages of fact. Because they're counting on most people not seeing the documentation.
Can I say something here?
You just spent the last half hour, Scott. You spent the last half hour monopolizing.
Anna, just give me 1 second. Let me let Keith finish his point, and then we can continue. Go ahead, Keith.
First of all, I wouldn't take
please,
the Lord's
just-
name in vain on
Well, you
Scott.
have pretty much. So
Scott, please.
secondly,
Just give-
See, I like that Scott said that. And to them, it doesn't mean anything. So that right there should tell you, when you're talking to some people, that their honesty isn't a virtue. They're not credible people in the form of, I can't lie. If you're willing to say things like, GD and on television, then that's telling everybody else, then the rest of the words out of your mouth, I can't trust it. I can't trust, because, and then people say, well, you doesn't have to be a Christian. I don't care what he is, but I can't trust what comes out of his mouth next, because he's told me he's got a forked tongue. Barry, you can't say that about people. Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, I live my life that way. If as far as I'm concerned, if somebody did something like that, the conversation is over. Hey, listen, I hope everything works out for you. I'm a bounce. I got nothing to talk to you. I've told you many a times. When I meet people before I get into conversation, hey, can a man become a woman? I can't help you. I'm out. There's nothing to talk about. You have set up a wall at this point that you are telling me that you are not a reasonable person to have a discussion with. I cannot discuss anything with you. I can't even discuss what's on a menu if you tell me you believe that a man can become a woman. And if you guys feel that way, you can have that argument. I'm like, why are you going to argue? Somebody is fantasizing. They have come up with a new lord, little L. What? I'm done. I don't got nothing for you.
Secondly, and this is the point that I think is the larger issue. This conversation is exactly the conversation Donald Trump wants us to be having. He doesn't want us to talk about the Epstein scandal, so he threw up Tulsi Gabbard to bring out this old, unsubstantiated charge against Barack Obama, who was 3 presidents ago, to get Scott Jennings on national television to get his base talking about that issue. It's all part of Donald Trump's plan, and Scott's playing right into it. We should be talking about how the Epstein scandal is preventing Congress from doing its job, preventing them from talking about jobs and health care and education and affordable housing, preventing them from doing the American people's work. But Scott is working with Donald Trump to get you talking about Barack Obama, who's not even the president.
Caroline,
wow. Scott, I know they must be paying you a lot, bro, but at some point you got to go, is this worth it? These people are stone cold nuts. Wow.
I would argue that Democrats are really, I would actually argue that Democrats are really having a heyday with the Epstein scandal instead of focusing on the things that matter like inflation and even the Medicaid reform if they really want to go there. But I think we're getting a little confused about what this Russia bombshell actually is.
It's not
saying,
a bombshell.
well, actually it is. It's showing that Obama was indeed the architect of the Russian collusion hoax. Because he fed fake intelligence to the media, which served as the basis for multiple...
Tinfoil hats, he's yelling. Because they can't confront her. They can't confront you. Oh, it's some sort of fantasy that you're making up. I'm tired of picking it up, but I want you to keep having that picture in your head of Barry waving documents. Tinfoil hat. How is it tinfoil when I got it here? Can you imagine sitting in a conversation with 5 or 6 people, 5, 6 friends, family members, and them telling you you're nuts because you're a Trump supporter, you're maggots, and everything else, and they're completely ignoring here. You're chasing an Epstein list. Understand that. They are chasing an Epstein list that they haven't seen, while ignoring the list that they have seen. Tulsi Gabbard dropped 100+ pages of list that you people don't even want to acknowledge exist, and you're chasing a ghost over here that you're hoping exists. There has been 0 evidence of some sort of black book or list. None. Everyone's talked about it for years, but you have to imagine right now that there may not be a list, there may be a file, there may be something on a hard drive. There's no black book. And they're talking to Ghislaine Maxwell right now, and they're still trying to find out if the book exists, if the list exists. Meanwhile, I don't have any ifs. I don't have any doubt. It's sitting right here. Why don't you talk about what's actually in your hand? I can show it to you. But right now, the cover-up is wild.
Well, hold on. What exactly was he the architect of?
He's the one who gave his officials gave the assessment to the media that was derived from the discredited Steele dossier.
What did the assessment say?
Oh, it hurts. I know it must hurt you. What did the assessment say? On which one of these pages, you moron? She went on television. I forget what time her show comes on. 10 o'clock or so. She comes after Caitlyn. And she went on show knowing that they were going to talk about this, and she's playing completely stupid. What did it say? What document? The one right flipping here. Makes me mad that these people who were going to talk about it didn't bring it with them. They had to. They probably said to themselves, "There's no conceivable way that she didn't know that there weren't that." So she's pretending, and all the other ones are pretending to their audience that there's nothing there. What are you talking about? What ICA? I don't know.
Dossier?
What did the assessment say? The IC assessment, what did it say?
The assessment was derived from the Steele dossier, which said that Trump was accused.
What did it actually say? Not what is it derived from. What did it actually say? What was the conclusion of the IC assessment?
I'm not going to regurgitate it verbatim.
I've said it
The conclusion was that the Russians tried to meddle in the elections, that they had done all sorts of things, but that there was no evidence that they had changed the result.
That they changed the votes. That is not what it said.
And if you don't know that,
but
also,
in any case.
Also, listen. In any case,
this
though.
Yes.
Okay. So we are here saying, or some of you are saying that high-level Democrats were trying to get half the country, to believe that Donald Trump had not legitimately won the election. What I saw was Barack Obama greet then President-elect Trump in 2016 at the White House. I saw him properly transition.
So because he met him at the White House, it meant that nothing was going on behind the scenes? How many men and women are in relationships where the other person is smiling in their faces and stooping somebody in behind the scenes? Oh, I know. How about the whole Coldplay thing? I bet you that dude's wife and that woman's husband were like, oh, she loves me. He loves me. How's everything going, honey? Oh, I'm just working late at work. Yeah, okay. I'll be home a little bit late tonight. Yeah, love you. Mwah. And you're dancing at the Coldplay concert. So she's trying to tell you that because he showed up and shook hands, that nothing could have happened. He was being a good host. Everything was fine. You have to be that stupid to listen to these people.
With the Trump team, I saw him be at the swearing in of Donald Trump. I did not see him trying to lead an insurrection and fan the flames or stop the way that the House was going to certify the election. What did Donald Trump do when Joe Biden won? None of those things. None of those things.
I can make excuses for it, but the fact is one political party takes it as an argument, your party takes it as an argument of faith that Russia stole the election.
Okay.
What I said to you was
Scott,
facts.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but
Obama
treated Donald Trump
hold on a
like
second, guys. We really have to go to break. But
president.
We have to go
Donald
to
Trump
break.
did not treat.
Released.
I didn't mean to make that painful. I meant to show that to you for the mere fact of, as Trump has said, watching what your enemy thinks and understanding if you have any belief that these people are going to come back, they're not coming back. They are your enemy. You're going to have to admit it to yourself at this point. They're never coming back. As much as we would want to pray and say, hope these people come back, they're not coming back. And these people are the worst because I don't even know what they believe, but their objective is to hoodwink the people who do watch them, which is maybe why their audience is dwindling. But at the same time, if their audiences are dwindling, if Colbert's getting fired, then how the hell are certain pollsters out there saying, oh, midterms are in trouble? How? Prove to me in 2025 how people don't want to, they don't like the fact that there's no newcomers, that they're paying less in taxes, that they're being more prosperous, that they're safe, but nobody wants that, huh? They want to go ahead and go back to what was before because of some list? Seriously?